You also were very good at communicating when you first met this person that you're now having trouble with, right? In the beginning, things were fine. You knew how to get your point across. You knew how to listen. You felt the other person could get you, at least to a certain degree. So what happened? Did you suddenly lose your entire brain and forget how to put together sentences? Of course not. You already know how to communicate. Your partner already knows how to communicate. That's not the problem, even though we think it is. It's a false assumption. The actual problem is that we don't feel emotionally safe with each other anymore. Welcome to Heal Your Relationships. This podcast is all about healing your marriage and your other close relationships without waiting for the people around you to change. I'm your host, Dr. Kavita Sun. Let's dive in. Well, hello, my friends. Happy Thursday. Hey, you may or may not have noticed that the name of the podcast has been changed to Heal Your Relationships. You see, what we do for people that come to us for help is we help you heal your relationships without waiting for the people around you to change. That is what we do. And most of our clients, not all of them, but most of them come to us to improve and heal and turn around their marriage. About 80% of our clients come to us for help with their marriage. The remaining 20%, we help them with their relationships with their adult children or their aging parents or their younger children. Any important relationship, we can help you turn around. But here's the thing, our podcast name was not reflecting what we actually do. And we're kind of slow. So we didn't really put two and two together until recently. Actually, until our current clients and past clients said to us, hey guys, it's hard to tell what you do by looking at your podcast name. We were like, oh yeah, you're right. So anyway, now we're called Heal Your Relationships. And incidentally, that's a name for our website too. www.healyourrelationships.com, all one word. By the way, we also have a 6-day free mini course called Rapid Relationship Repair on our website for you. And even if your relationship is decent, it will immediately upgrade it by a few notches. So take advantage of it. Why wouldn't you, right? You'd be crazy not to. So go check it out. Anyway, today I wanted to share with you how we heal your relationships from the inside out without waiting for other people to change around you. And we do this in just 10 weeks. Not only that, you guys, we have a 90% success rate. It's crazy. 90% success rate. Did you know couples therapy has about a 30% success rate? So we have the world's best, most cutting edge process for being able to turn things around, no matter how stuck your relationship might be right now. And I want to share with you how we do this and what the 3 pillars and stages are and what tools we teach you so that you can see how it's so different from anything else really out there. This program came about because of my own need, because I had dragged several of my ex-partners to couples therapy, and it felt like 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It felt like a Band-Aid. It helped in the moment, but then I'd come home and it wouldn't help in between, right? We just end up in the same arguments and the same cycles, and then we'd go and complain about it during a couple session, and then the couples therapist would play referee and try to get us to use I statements and all this stuff, and we'd try, and then we'd go home and we'd be back in the same cycle. So I realized, oh my gosh, the number of couples therapists that are graduating every year in the United States keeps going up. However, the divorce rate has not come down at all. Doesn't make sense, right? Right. So what we do, we do several things differently. But the number one thing that we do differently is that we only work with one partner. Why is this? I'll tell you, the problem in couples therapy is that both partners are so, by the time we get to couples therapy, we're so upset with each other, feel emotionally unsafe around the other person. There's a lot of resentment, a lot of blame, a lot of defensiveness, a lot of shutting down, a lot of sort of nervous system agitation, right? So when you start from that place and both the people are in the room, right, it's really hard to get any sort of traction because you spend all your time just refereeing the tension and the disagreements between two people. You actually don't move forward. You just sort of bandage things up and send the couple out into the world again until next week. And I believe that this, along with one other thing, which I'll tell you about, is the reason that couples therapy doesn't work a lot of the time. The second reason is that they jump into communication tools because most couples think, oh, we have problems with communication. We need better communication tools. We need to learn to communicate better. But let me ask you this. Do you know how to communicate with everybody else in your life? Of course you do. You know how to communicate at work. You know how to communicate with your friends. You know how to communicate with people that you run into when you're out and about in the world. You already know how to communicate. You also were very good at communicating when you first met this person that you're now having trouble with, right? In the beginning, things were fine. You knew how to get your point across. You knew how to listen. You felt the other person could get you, at least to a certain degree. So what happened? Did you suddenly lose your entire brain and forget how to put together sentences? Of course not. You already know how to communicate. Your partner already knows how to communicate. That's not the problem, even though we think it is. It's a false assumption. The actual problem is that we don't feel emotionally safe with each other anymore. And we are starting to poke each other's core wounds, right? So we end up in a power struggle stage where we're pushing and pulling, right? One person is often the person who is anxious and is complaining a lot and bringing up problems and wants to discuss them and wants to resolve them, wants to talk hours about them and analyze everything. And the other person is often, not always, but often, the person who tends to not want to talk about the relationship or about feelings, thinks that you are too sensitive, that you're bringing up too many problems all the time, that you need to, just get with the program and that emotions are just too much and unnecessary to be discussed this much. And so they shut down, they get defensive, they minimize you, they dismiss your feelings, they withdraw, they space out, they are jump into problem solving. See what I mean? And interestingly, these two kinds of people in relationships attract each other, right? Why? Because we need, for the person who is anxiously attached, we need somebody who pulls away for us to feel that anxious attachment and then to heal it. We are trying to heal that anxiously attached part of us, and we can only do that by feeling anxiously attached, which means that we'll be attracted to somebody who is very independent, very self-reliant, very confident, which is very attractive in the beginning, but later on, the other side of that comes out, and they seem cold and dismissive and distant and disconnected and don't make time or prioritize you or the relationship and all these things. And vice versa. The avoidant needs to find the anxiously attached person in order to resolve their wounds. All this to say, when you're having trouble in a relationship, that is the point at which there is potential for real depth and closeness and healing and growth. Okay? Nothing has gone wrong. It is, in fact, the very thing that could be the saving grace for both of you and for your relationship. But couples therapy prevents that growth, in my opinion, because we focus on symptom management and we never actually get deep enough to heal the foundational issues in the relationship and to heal each individual's core wounds and get back a sense of safety, emotional safety and trust in the relationship, right? That you had in the beginning. Except now you want to have that after really getting to know each other, not on a superficial level, but with depth. That's what gives legs to this relationship. That's what will help it last decades, not I statements and date nights. So, first, we only work with one partner. And now you know why. When you change the steps of your dance and you heal your core wounds, you show up differently in the dance. The dance itself changes. The other person notices and starts feeling safe as well. They start dancing back differently. And it's the quickest, most effective way to shift the trajectory of not just your relationship, but of your future generations, of your children's lives and their children's lives. So that's one difference. We work with one partner. Second difference, we start with helping you identify and heal your own core wounds so that you actually don't play the same role and get triggered in the same ways. Because when we do, we end up having arguments that go nowhere, right? We just go round and round saying the same things, escalating, shutting down. We will help you get yourself out of that toxic dance. Once you're out, then there is no dance, right? A dance requires two people. And from your new vantage point, you show up differently. So that's the second difference, is we start with helping you identify and heal your own core wounds so you are not triggered any longer and you can be the calm in any storm. You just are steady and confident and clear and calm in any situation. That alone will change your whole life, every aspect of it. Then we show you how to resolve that sense of safety, emotional safety, and connection and trust. Because remember, you already know how to communicate. You actually need to heal within and then heal the connection in between and the trust in between you and another person. So that's the second step. And only then, finally, we'll show you our 3 mind-blowing communication tools that once you have the foundation of your new marriage and you have then the connection and the trust rebuilt and the safety rebuilt, now the communication tools that we teach you will work so fast and so easily because you already know how to communicate. We're just sharpening those tools for you. We're just customizing it to your relationship, and it becomes easy as slicing butter. This is why we're able to do what we're able to do within 10 weeks, and we're able to have a 90% success rate. Even 3 years after finishing our program, we have a 90% success rate. So, if you take nothing else from this, please take these things. Number 1, you need to heal your own core wounds and get to a point where your triggers are not being activated all the time in your intimate relationships. Number 2, the fact that you are in power struggle is not a problem. It is the beginning of potential deepening and growth. Depends on whether you take that opportunity or you stay stuck there, which is when people just get stuck and go round and round. That's usually what leads to divorce. Number 3, you need to, after you heal your core wounds and become the kind of person who can be calm in any storm and feel calm and confident, then the second step is to heal the emotional safety and trust and connection in the relationship. And there are 3 specific tools that we show you how to do that. Only after all these steps does communication tools even work? But when you do the first few steps, communication tools is like putting a solid roof on a house that has a solid foundation and solid bones. It will work instead of, if you start with communication tools, which is like building a roof for a house that doesn't yet have walls or a foundation, right? Even if you spend $1 million on the best roof on the planet, it's still going to crash. So please take these 3 things away. Whatever else you do, you have to see the potential for growth in the power struggle, heal your own core wounds, show up differently and change the steps of your dance, heal the connection and the emotional safety, and then go to communication tools. If you do it in the right order, it takes less than 3 months to completely turn things around for you and for your legacy that you're going to pass on. So with that, my friends, please go to our website, check out the free mini course that we have there for you. It's a 6-day mini course. Again, www.healyourrelationships.com. All one word. I love you, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Hey, if you enjoyed this podcast and you'd like access to our marriage repair toolkit, you can go to www.healyourrelationships, all one word, healyourrelationships.com, and look for free training. I'll see you there.